Hey, I'm about to start this over here. Hey there, South Mississippi. Chief Meteorologist Eric Jeansonne here with a quick update on the forecast. Over the past couple of days, we've been talking about the hazy skies across South Mississippi. Well, we've seen that again today and yesterday, and it's all thanks to two culprits. We had these wildfires from Canada that the smoke was able to travel through the jet stream all the way down to the Gulf Coast. And also we're seeing a Saharan dust plume, and what that does, it kind of filters out the sunlight during sunset, and if there are no clouds present, you can sort of see the disk of the sun whenever you're kind of trying to photograph it. And yesterday I was in Bay St. Louis, or actually in Henderson Point, and I was able to kind of capture that disk of the sun as it was setting right below the Bay St. Louis bridge, thanks to some of that Saharan dust and also that wildfire smoke. And this evening we also had a pretty nice sunset as well, but I do think the clouds had more of a reason of why we saw these colors, not so much the dust, but the clouds kind of providing a backdrop for these beautiful colors this evening over the Pops Ferry or at Pops Ferry Causeway Park there in Biloxi this evening. So we've been having some pretty nice sunsets thanks to the Saharan dust and the wildfire smoke. But in order to get those vibrant colors, you also need the cloud cover as well. So it's kind of, you got to get a good mix of things. Looking at the Saharan dust forecast, as we go into tomorrow and Friday, it looks like we see another push or another surge of that dust working its way onto the coast as we go into the weekend. So there will be more opportunities. Maybe if you're at sunset, you notice you can sort of see the sun kind of dimmed out a little bit because of the Saharan dust allowing for more of that light to be filtered. Hancock, Whitney Bank, Tower Cam, and Gulfport, things are looking pretty quiet tonight. We did see one little shower on the radar this evening. In fact, a little bit closer look at that. A little thunderstorm came out of, looks like it came out of George County, kind of developed right on top of you in Lucedale, moved from the northeast to the southwest along Highway 26 there, and dumping some pretty heavy rain around Bendale. And now that's heading towards Wiggins and Perkinston. So maybe you're hearing a few rumbles of thunder, although I haven't seen much in the way of lightning with this. And some of this moisture is actually from that disturbance that we've been tracking around Florida over the past couple of days. The National Hurricane Center has actually dropped the chances for tropical development. Earlier, if you were following along with the tropics, earlier this week the National Hurricane Center highlighted the area off the coast of the Carolinas for tropical development. Looks like that's no longer going to be the case. Very hostile environment, lots of wind shear, and this disturbance is actually kind of interacting a lot with land. And you can see that on water vapor, the big dip in the jet stream there, imparting a lot of wind shear across Florida and the Carolinas. So if something did try to develop, it would have a very difficult time. And looking at futurecasts as we head through the next couple of days, doesn't really want to do much with that system as it works its way off towards the East Coast. So tomorrow we're looking at another day like today. There may be a few coastal showers in the morning tomorrow morning, and then as we go into the afternoon with the daytime heating, we can't rule out a few hit and miss showers and thunderstorms with highs in the 80s and 90s. We'll keep the opportunity for hit and miss showers and storms as we go into the weekend. But there may be a little bit better chance for some storms as we head towards the beginning of next week as we see a front approach the area. Hey, big weekend, or a big week rather, for the Billfish Classic going on this week. If you're heading offshore, tomorrow looks like, can't rule out a few stray showers out over the water. Looks like those south winds about 5 to 10 knots. They may be a little bit gustier around any showers or storms, and seas about 3 to 5 feet. And as we work our way into Friday and Saturday, similar conditions, although winds are going to be variable just depending on exactly where you end up if you're heading offshore tomorrow going into Friday and Saturday. But again, can't rule out one of those hit or miss showers or thunderstorms throughout the weekend. Water temperatures are in the low to mid 80s all the way offshore. Now, a quick update on the tropics. Now, there's been a lot of questions about, oh, I saw this online about some hurricane somewhere in the Gulf sometime later on in the month. You know, the GFS model is notorious for spitting out big hurricanes 7, 12, 14 days in advance, especially in June. A lot of times those hurricanes never even form. The GFS sort of has something wrong with its modeling beyond 7 days whenever we get into long-range forecasting for tropical systems. What happens is this time of the year we get something called the Central American Gyre. It's a broad area of low pressure that develops over Central America. The GFS, once you get past 7 days, it kind of overdoes the development of tropical systems that try to spin off of this system. And sometimes the GFS will put out big major hurricanes out in the middle of the Gulf that never even form. A lot of it is just kind of feedback, an error within the model itself. Right now there are no main concerns about a tropical system moving into the Gulf. Now, is it unheard of to get a tropical system in this area at this time of the year? No. In fact, that's where we typically do expect some type of tropical development. The Central American Gyre is one of the main things that leads to tropical development in the month of June. We have been impacted by storms that formed off of this mechanism. In fact, in 2020, Tropical Storm Cristobal developed off of the Central American Gyre and impacted South Mississippi. 2021, Tropical Storm Claudette was also a tropical system that formed from the Central American Gyre that also brought us some heavy rain and flooding. So it does happen, but until something actually forms, you're not really going to know what's going to happen until things form. So while there are some scary model runs running out all over social media right now at the moment, no big concerns. But if something does develop, of course, we're going to be tracking it. 7-day forecast, it looks like this again as we go into the weekend. High temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s. Can't rule out some hit and miss storms. And we're going to watch next week for maybe some slightly higher rain chances.